Hence they give me that weird name. Everybody has had a difficulty with it. Mavericks. The children suffer always. And I grew up in Kabul. Then the Soviet Union, they withdrew in 1989. I lived between the city and the countryside. So like everyone else, I had a strong connection with the countryside. So I'll go to the countryside to see my grandma, which I was very close with. I wasn't that close with my parents. Not because of the name, but they were too busy. They were university educated, and they had jobs to do. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with my grandma, and she always kindly reminded me that I owe her a lot. And I said, why is that? Just because you brought me up? She said, no, because I've done a lot for you. And she would tell me her favorite story was during a Soviet raid. So they would, when the Soviets were sending forces to clear out particular areas of the countryside, there would be a surveillance plane which would fly high, make like it was called the mosquito plane. It will make a humming sound flying high. So that was also a signal for people to clear the villages out. So there was a Soviet raid, and my grandma kindly tied me up to her back and head to the mountains. That's where you shelter, because this. I mean, I'm sure this sounds. When are we going to learn? Sounds still the same. There's no such thing as civilians. Like, if you're going to fight, leave the civilians out. But it's not the case. There are so many conflicts around the world at the moment, from Gaza to Ukraine, where civilians are just treated as like, but you're in my way. It's totally. It was the same. So, so my grandma tied me on her back, climbed the mountain, and I said, I've got a little suggestion. And she said, what do you want? I said, I need to go for a wee. And she said, well, there is no such opportunity at the moment, and facilities are unavailable, so you can have a go on my back. and yeah, she would tell me, you're the child who weed on my back. And that's why I owe her so much. Yeah. So, I mean, that should I'm not saying that unless you wee on your grandparents, you have strong bond with them. But there was a strong connection, a strong family connection